conversation, soulful musical conversation. And we have Bidisha Sarkar with us today. And it's going to be a musical evening. And we as conversationists, Talking Cures, are very, very privileged to host her. And I would like to first give a small introduction about Conversationist Talking Cures. Conversationist Talking Cures is an endeavor. It's 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 not only an endeavor for mental health, but हम लोग चाहते हैं कि mental health हर डोर स्टेप पे जाए. Conversationist Talking Cures is not only about therapy and counseling and training and research. It is about starting a whole new way of looking at things. हम चाहते हैं कि अपनी stories people talk about their stories. ये घर घर हर जने हर एज ग्रुप के पास हर एज ग्रुप एक मेंटल हेल्थ सीख कर सके और जिसको भी ज़रूरत है और ये जो एक स्टिग्मा और टैबू है मेंटल हेल्थ को लेके वी आर एमिंग के ये सब क्लोजेट से निकले एंड पीपल टेल देयर स्टोरीज पीपल शेयर देयर स्टोरीज और अभी हमने यहाँ पे देखा है कि इन इन जो 3 दिनों में 3-4 दिन जो हमने सारा ये कॉन्वर्सेशनिस्ट का अभियान ये शुरू करा है इनिशिएटिव शुरू करा है लोगों ने बताया पीपल हाउ दे हैव उन्होंने अपने स्टोरीज बताई एंजाइटीज फियर्स डिप्रेशन डार्क मोमेंट से कैसे कोप अप करा and how they are mentally they are building their mental strength and so I this is conversationist talking cure is just taking this forward and we want it to be a movement हम चाहते हैं कि this becomes the new way to converse where people talk about themselves people share their stories and today we have with us Bidisha Sarkar and मैं इनकी छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन है very interesting and आप she was brought up in Guwahati, Assam, and she's an artist with an affinity towards various art forms. और ये खाली म्यूजिक नहीं है इनकी academics includes a master's degree in the field of animal ecology and wildlife biology. And then फिर इसके बाद इन्होंने PhD रिसर्च इनरोल करा PhD के लिए इन द सेम फील्ड पर इनको लगा कि नहीं शी डिडंट बिलोंग देयर तो इन्होंने वेरियस फील्ड्स में एज अ रिसर्च एसोसिएट काम करा बायोडाइवर्सिटी बोर्ड में थी एंड देन एज अ राइटर विद अ प्रोडक्शन हाउस and brand communications agency. Then she slowly found great stability and satisfaction in pharmaceutical segment because having seen the conception, birth and growth of a company with which she is associated. Then her creative life began at 2 years of age जब इनकी मदर इनको hands इनके हाथ पकड़ के इनको भरतनाट्यम क्लास में ले गई and at the premises of the legendary Dr. Indira P.P. Bora's Kala Bhumi and she learned from there I think she learned discipline grace and the point of being an artist for her own self there in the institution even though she quit her training with just 3 months remaining until she went until her, for her personal reasons and but she loves and enjoys dance at when she was 10 years old she walked into an art class down the lane as does every Bengali middle class kid and she's never been academically certified trainer in art and maybe that has allowed her to learn from all and learn as she pleases because there is no typical art form तो इसलिए वो आई थिंक हर आर्ट फॉर्म से वो एक्सपेरिमेंट करती हैं अगर आप इनकी फेसबुक पे भी जाएंगे तो आपको यू विल सी हर लवली पेंटिंग्स एंड हर लवली पोइट्री दैट शी राइट्स और जिस तरह से द वे शी परसीव्स आर्ट has changed drastically in the years to come. And she does not see it is no longer about copying a photograph ditto on paper, nor it is about making sure that the colors stay inside the outlines. She feels it has liberated her in many ways, and which only God can know. And like every other kid growing up, she was brought a beautiful harmonium home, and she stayed under the guidance of Hindustani classical teacher with whom she trained for 11 years. And then soon life happened and studies took over. And then she reached out to all the lovers who had in different body of art forms. And it was also a search of a self identity. And even though she feels she still is trying to understand art forms, and she feels that art helps in fighting depression, and she's successfully fought all her demons and dark moments, and she currently lives in Surat. I अगर हम ये देखें तो Vidisha, welcome. And I really don't know. It is
Thank you so
mother.
much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Happy Mother's Day to you first, and thank you for having me here.
I know I was just going to say Happy Mother's Day to everybody who's here, because at some point, hum sab as women, as men, we always do a little bit of parenting. किसी को dogs का, किसी को cats का, किसी को
Indeed.
this. So welcome,
Thank you.
and the first question I'm going to ask you is, इतना dynamic, इतना सारी, इतनी creativity, and I mean beyond this, we want to know who is Bidisha.
Ma'am, actually, the thing is, creativity, आप जो बोल रही है, dynamic. I think this
हाँ,
is something that comes with a person who is curious. तो क्वालिटीज़ हम सब में मोस्ट प्रोबेबली इक्वली होती है एंड देन वी कीप ऑन सर्चिंग कि उसका क्या करे द क्यूरियोसिटी टू सर्च फॉर मोर एंड मोर सो दैट हैज़ रिजल्टेड मी इन ट्राइंग मेनी थिंग्स तो जैसे बचपन से मेरी मम्मी ने मेरे पापा ने सो एज इज़ द केस विद normal Bengali families, so they usually ask their kids to go to a dance class or maybe an art class. So it was first triggered by my parents only, and then I did not know what to do with it because in that stage, like when you're 3 4 years old, you do not know what to do with whatever you are given. So you just repeat what you're being taught, and slowly that kept going on. Kuch art forms I some left my side and a few stayed. सो अभी जो है जो आर्ट है मेरे पास तो दैट हैज स्टेड फॉर कंसिडरेबल टाइम एंड सिंस माय जर्नी विद आर्ट हैज़ बिन अ रियली इमोशनल वन सो आई टेंड टू स्टिक विद इट तो अभी उसके साथ ही आई कैरी माई सेल्फ फॉरवर्ड
okay,
So, and apart from that, job to hai hi, so that is a different genre altogether. That's a different zone altogether. And apart from that, I love doing many things. कुछ भी आप creative बोल लीजिए या कुछ भी बोल लीजिए. I love cooking, and sometimes it's a total disaster, but then at times I love doing that. And then I write at times. I try to sing at times. And I actually come together with numerous artists who are incredibly talented, and I try to bring them all together under one umbrella. ताकि we can actually see कि क्या हो सकता है, what to do with different art forms together in one project. तो अभी for the last 2 3 years that has been my attempt कि मैं वही try कर रही हूँ कि ज़्यादा लोग आए मेरे साथ जुड़े and let's create something good. That has been my attempt.
Vidisha, this is a soulful musical conversation. So I cannot resist. I would request, we begin with we also listen to you, the music part.
Um,
So
I am not
any song.
really good at it, but I'll be just singing something for you because this was initially was supposed to be a group live concert with
Yes.
you and my friend. I was supposed to be doing with him, but then there is a song that is a part of our upcoming project for which he will be singing the portion that is a ghazal by Jagjit Singh, and I was supposed to do the painting section and come up with an art poetry sort of a video. So this is for my friend and then our new project. And there is another very amazing keyboardist. His name is Madhurja. So even he will be assisting us in our future projects. So this is for the two of them for
Okay.
all the work and effort that we have been putting in together during this lockdown period. So there is
Okay.
a beautiful ghazal by Jagjit Singh ji, and it's called "Baat Niklegi to Dur Tilak Jayegi." And
Okay.
even though I will not be able to do any justice to it, I'll try. I'll definitely try. So I'll just put on the Tanpura ones if it's okay.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes. Yes. It is audible.
बात निकलेगी तो फिर दूर तलक जाएगी लोग बेवजह उदासी का सबब पूछेंगे, ये भी पूछेंगे कि तुम इतनी परेशान क्यों हो.
Okay. We She will join us back, and I also want to tell you something that Vidisha has her paintings also. We will request her to show, but she's a very multi talented and so many things. And ये जो conversations हम कर रहे हैं, ये जो भी आर्टिस्ट आ रहे हैं, दे आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्टोरीज. और स्टोरी तभी बनती है, और आप सबकी भी कोई ना कोई स्टोरी होगी. आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट, अगर आपको लगता है यू कैन टॉक अबाउट योर ओन स्टोरी, यू सेंड अस अ मैसेज ऑन अ फेसबुक पेज. यू कैन जस्ट सेंड अस अ मैसेज, एंड हम आपकी स्टोरी, अगर आप अगर आप चाहते हैं तो हम छोटा सा आपकी स्टोरी और आपका भी हम इंटरव्यू ले लेंगे. और यहीं पे इसी इसी प्लेटफॉर्म में नेक्स्ट वीक हम शुरू करेंगे. वी वुड वांट के लेट्स टॉक अबाउट इट, लेट्स टॉक अबाउट आवर स्ट्रगल्स, कि हम कैसे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और हम कैसे उससे ओवरकम करके. क्योंकि अगर कई बार ये होता है कि कई जगह हमें कोई नहीं लगता है, हमें पता ही नहीं हम किससे बात करें. सो वी मस्ट रिमेंबर प्रोफेशनल हेल्प इज अवेलेबल, and there are and please talk to a counselor, please talk to a psychologist, and you can talk to a conversationist. And we'll just see Vidisha is joining us, and she's, I mean, क्या करें, टेक्नोलॉजी है. और एक्चुअली शी इज इन द प्लेस दैट शी इज इन राइट नाउ, वहाँ पे थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम भी हो रही है बिकॉज ऑफ द लॉकडाउन. थोड़ा उनका कनेक्टिविटी एंड अदर थिंग्स हैं. सो आई शी इज जॉइंड अस.
I'm back again. So I was
वेलकम.
facing some internet issues, and yeah. So I'm so sorry because
नॉट
the
एट ऑल.
internet connection is really erratic.
या.
I'll just continue once again.
या.
So
प्लीज
sorry for
प्लीज.
killing the mood.
नो नो, नॉट एट ऑल.
बात निकलेगी तो फिर दूर तलक जाएगी. लोग बेवजह उदासी का सबब पूछेंगे, ये भी पूछेंगे कि तुम इतनी परेशान क्यों हो. उंगलियां उठेंगी रूखे हुए बालों की तरफ, एक नजर देखेंगे गुजरे हुए सालों की तरफ. चूरियों पर भी कई तंज किए जाएंगे, कांपते हाथों पे भी फिक्रे कसे जाएंगे. लोग जालिम है, हर एक बात का ताना देंगे, बातों बातों में मेरा जिक्र भी ले आएंगे. उनकी बातों का जरा सा भी असर मत लेना, वरना चेहरे के तासुर से समझ जाएंगे. बात निकलेगी तो फिर दूर तलक जाएगी.
Very beautiful. वेरी ब्यूटीफुल।
Um,
एब्सोल्युटली। रिक्वेस्ट तो आपकी और भी आ रही हैं अगर तुम साथ हो फ्रॉम तमाशा, बट बिफोर,
who made that request, ma'am?
ज्योतिर्मय, ज्योतिर्मय सर।
Jyotirma. Okay, okay.
But before you do that,
Yes.
I have looked at your paintings and everything. और आपकी पेंटिंग्स में there are dark paintings also. So
Ma'am, most
I,
of them are.
yes. So tell us why.
Uh,
Is that your way of catharsis? Yeah, you know, what is it that makes you all do, bring out that it shows a lot of pain, and it shows struggle. So if you,
Ma'am, the thing is, for any art form, whatever you're creating with your capabilities of whatever level they may be. So, if you're making something, if you're creating something, whether it's a song or maybe you're writing a piece or maybe you're painting something, in my opinion, it needs to be a story. A story, if it's a dark one, it also should show you a window of hope. So, even though you said that my paintings are dark, they are not without hope, they are not without faith. So, indeed, yes, there was a time that I was fighting a lot of issues. I was in severe depression, I would call it. There were multiple reasons for it. And it's true that many people are more comfortable sharing about their stories of how they have dealt with depression. We usually tend to actually rely on somebody from your neighborhood or maybe from your family to come and tell you that it's okay. It's okay to go through such kind of dark phases, dark stages. It's okay that celebrities, it's great that celebrities are coming up with their stories of how they fight depression. But then somebody completely normal, like somebody like me or the next door friend that you have, if those people start getting more and more vocal about their issues that they have faced in their lives, so it becomes very comforting for the person who is going through something that he or she cannot explain. So it is true that being a very empathetic person, I would say I have been through some issues myself and also the people around me. So as an empath, you tend to associate with the people near you so dearly that you start feeling their pain, you start feeling their joys. And that has led to a few beautiful projects that I came up with. I do not know how technically I have been able to maybe render that, but whatever was possible for me to do, I have done it. And then there came a phase because at one point of time as a student you're supposed to think more about how you're supposed to earn your bread after you have graduated. So that phase usually takes away of a lot of passion for these art forms from people's lives. People are thrown into a sort of abyss and most of them are not that practical enough. They do not receive such sort of skill sets that enables them to do that. Then there are many other issues, some personal issues, or some family issues, and there are people who go through abuse at home or at the hands of their partners or maybe their friends, and they're not capable enough of first accepting it that it has happened to them and then at least doing something about it. So I have been through such phases and I have been through a lot of emotional trauma. Then it took me years to register that okay, this is something real and this is going to hamper, because it's a cause and effect thing. Whatever is happening to you will have consequences. How you react to it will have consequences. So there was a stage where I was completely not doing any form of art. So now you might be seeing that I am uploading paintings, I might be practicing, I might be doing a few projects with fellow artists. But then there was a time when I was doing almost next to nothing. So almost a period of 3 4 years that I hadn't painted a single thing, I hadn't sung a single song, I hadn't written anything. Because that's not just a writer's block, that is what depression does to you. It does not leave you at a place where you can create something, because negativity is such kind of a thing that it does not let you create. If you have been through negativity, if you have been through depression and you have somehow controlled it in a certain way and then you have interpreted it in a beautiful way, then you can make something out of it. You can make something out of your experience, but until and unless you are out of that black hole, you cannot do anything, you cannot create anything. So I think a lot of self retrospection was in place, a lot of efforts from my own side at optimism and how to understand my own interpretations. So understand the demons in my own head first. So that is somehow like how I progressed with it. And with time, I took a decision abruptly that today onwards, I will not let anything come in the way of me and creation. So that was a one day decision, and I realized ki from tomorrow onwards, I am going to practice my art form daily. So everything positive, I am going to do that daily, even if everything around me, if the environment around me asks me to be depressed, forces me to be depressed, because depression becomes like a very close friend, very dear friend, who you become really close with, who you start getting habituated to. And coming out of that takes a lot of effort from our part. And once you forcibly try to actually keep that away, keep that depression away, so that you may do something productive with your time, something productive with your life, and try out the things you have once been curious about. So that actually helps. At least it helped me. So as time progressed, I realized that I'll need to do that, or else I'll just be leading my life and time will just pass by. And I completely got engrossed in art and music. I realized what sort of flaws I might have as a person in my art forms and as a person as well. So if you are not somebody who is very in for self correction, then it's really very difficult to go through depression and come out of it in a proper way. So that is what I had been practicing for some time now, some years now, and it is helping me. It has helped me in a very good way, and thankfully I can claim to not be under depression anymore. I am not anxious anymore, so I am in control of my emotions, at least most of the time. Even though it's constant work, you need to work upon it every day, and I think it helps me. So I guess many people would be benefited from something like this.
So you also mentioned that could speak to somebody. You could hold a conversation about what you're feeling with somebody, and that is how it made some changes at least. And then in self introspection, is it?
The thing is, Dr. Chavi, unfortunately, I never had anybody to speak
Yes.
regarding my depression. So, what usually happens is not with me, but I've seen with many people my
Yeah.
age or even younger that they do not get that correct sort of support from their family because they are not that comfortable enough sharing it with their mom or dad or whoever their near or dear one is. So they take refuge in the company of complete strangers. They think that if I blurt out my story to some stranger, they might listen. In many cases, it does help. It's true. But that position, when a person is in depression, that is a very vulnerable stage. And usually, people tend to actually get attached to some sort of a shoulder to cry on. So that is not the kind of guidance that you need, because it is very easy to get misled when you're depressed, because if your mental health is not right, if you're not thinking correctly, then how can you expect that you'll be making all the right decisions about the people of about having people in your life. So that is a very dangerous thing. So it is very necessary that parents, because they have had a past too, they have had their childhoods, they have grown up, they have had their own set of problems. I think parents should be more concerned regarding the mental health of their children as they are growing up. And it is the duty of parents, I would say, to actually ensure their kids ki whatever happens, I am here. Instead of talking to a random stranger at 2 a.m., come to me. I'm not a psychologist, I do not hold a degree, but at least I feel that it is really risky for some people. They end up getting trapped in scenarios like this because people just beg for some validation at a point of time when they're very
Yes.
depressed. And that is when family can come into like play. Sometimes if the reason why you're depressed, if it is your family itself, so then it becomes even more dangerous because you cannot go out and talk about it to other people, because you cannot just hope to bring a bad name to your relationship with your parents or maybe your relatives. So that is a problematic thing. But I believe that your best friend is yourself. And if you want to help yourself, do it, because there are many people who will come to you. You are a psychologist, such a renowned psychologist. There are many people who will come to you every day. They'll talk about their problems and you will be advising them whatever you can, like whatever you know will work best for them. And then they will go home and they will not practice that in the long run. So if a person is not willing to help themselves, mental health, you cannot just, it's not something that you can wrap up in a glittery paper and then hand it over to somebody. People have to work at it every day.
Yes, you're absolutely right that अगर किसी को प्रॉब्लम होती है तो sometimes the professional help is very important. But एक
Hmm,
चीज है,
hmm,
psychologists, counselors कभी advice नहीं देते. They
hmm,
are like your friend, but they don't advise you. They are your professional, non-judgmental and absolutely confidential. तो एक safe space मिलती है उनको
hmm,
to tell their whatever they feel. क्योंकि हम लोग कभी भी
hmm,
advice नहीं देते. We don't tell you what to do. We tell you alternatives और जो आपके पास है उसी के थ्रू we work. And I think, Vidisha, there are a lot of requests here. दैट एक सॉन्ग तो मुझे भी बहुत पसंद है, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, और एक जो तमाशा से किसी ने करा है, बट जॉयदीप हैज रिक्वेस्टेड फॉर आज जाने की जिद ना करो. एंड इफ
oh,
यू बोथ द सॉन्ग्स नाउ.
sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Actually, I cannot see any of the comments on my screen
आई
because, for some reason, maybe.
आई योर
So,
लैपटॉप, योर
my
iPad, no, I,
tablet. Yes,
yeah,
ma'am, my tablet.
so yeah,
So, I'll just put through this once again.
yes, yes, yes.
यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे, ऐसी बातें किया ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो, आज जाने की जिद ना करो. इतना ही मुझे याद है. I'll have to look at
Very
the
beautiful.
lyrics.
There is another request from the song Tamasha, and
Okay. Hmm.
then there are
अगर
more songs. अगर
अगर तुम साथ हो. um, पल भर ठहर जाओ, दिल ये संभल जाए, कैसे तुम्हें रोका करूं, मेरी तरफ आता हर गम फिसल जाए, आँखों में तुमको भरूं, बिन बोले बातें अगर तुम साथ हो, अगर तुम साथ हो, बहती रहती लहर नदियाँ सी मेरी दुनिया में, मेरी दुनिया है तेरी चाहतों में, मैं ढल जाती हूँ तेरी आदतों में। अगर तुम साथ हो, अगर तुम साथ हो, हर गम फिसल जाए।
वेरी ब्यूटीफुल, वेरी ब्यूटीफुल। एंड
थैंक यू मैम।
रिक्वेस्ट तो बहुत सारे आए हैं विदिशा आपके लिए, लेकिन उससे पहले एक आपने बोला था कि आप एम्पैथ हैं, सो
यस।
एंड द थिंग विद एम्पैथ्स इज समटाइम्स आपको यू नो हाउ हाउ डू यू नो कि इट इज, आई मीन हाउ डू यू प्रोटेक्ट योरसेल्फ, बिकॉज ये एनर्जी, यू नो, इफ विद एम्पैथ्स द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट बाउंड्रीज कई बार ब्लर हो जाती हैं, and we don't know if we are projecting our own pain or we are projecting others' pain. So, how does all these art forms, you know, do you, मतलब आप जगल करती हैं आर्ट फॉर्म्स से, या what does music do to you, and then what does, I mean, how do you catharsis and different modes of expression आपके इतने हैं, तो आप उस तरह को उसको कैसे negotiate करते हैं?
Ma'am, like from whatever you said, I just want to say one thing because
Hmm,
science says that pain is just an illusion. It is just a way of letting you know that
hmm,
something is wrong.
hmm,
So, when we say that as an empath, if something is affecting you, or even as yourself, so if you're, if the moment of impact happens and it has changed you, it has impacted you, it's affected you, and you feel either pain or anger or anything at all, I
hmm,
think the first step that a person should be taking is identifying the problem. कि problem क्या है? Suppose if something wrong happened to you, so are you in pain? So are you angry? Are you sad? Is that something that has hurt your ego? So it is very important to detect. So if you are feeling very joyful right now, it is important to detect कि ये क्या है? Is this gratitude? Is this something? Is this a feel good thing? Is this gratitude? Is that enjoyment? Is that greed? Whatever are you getting happy about? So first identifying the problem. तो इमोशंस आर समथिंग कि अगर आपने अपने आप को ऐसे प्रिपेयर कर लिया दैट नथिंग अफेक्ट्स यू, लाइक वी नो अबाउट स्टोइक्स, वी टॉक अबाउट स्टोइसिज्म, राइट? सो अगर आपने अपने आप को ऐसे बना लिया है कि पेन और हर्ट और एंगर नथिंग अफेक्ट्स यू एनी मोर, देन as a balance you will not feel any enjoyment anymore as well, because if you're a person who is devoid of feelings, so you will not be able to experience the sort of emotions that human life brings with it. So as an empath, what happens is we tend to listen to people's stories. So there's another catch. You never know the stories are true or false, but then they are stories. It's stories that impact us. It's not the truth or the false thing in them. But then we listen to people's story, we get to know their problems, and as an empath, we understand them. We feel it in our bones. So what we need to do is what I do is that I create another chamber inside myself. कि यहाँ पे आज मैंने ये सुना, this has happened today, I saw something on Facebook, maybe an animal was getting tortured, or some other friend has come to me and they have just disclosed to me कि उन्हें ये problems हो रही है. So as a friend, as an empath, what am I supposed to do? I will have to listen to them, I'll have to understand what they have said, and I'll have to react according to what they want from me. They might not want anything, they might want just my ears, or maybe they will come to me for advice. So I'll first know कि वो चाहते क्या है मुझसे, and then I'll keep it inside me. It's not, you cannot, as an artist, you cannot block your emotions, because emotions are what actually compel you to do something beautiful, to create something more. They encourage you. So I cannot just not feel it, I cannot be a reflective surface, but I'll have to take it in. So even after having taken it all, I can create a room within myself where I can actually lock it up, where I can use it whenever required for some of my works, or maybe as some lessons for myself to lead my life. But then I do not let those emotions get to me. I do not let them get the best of me. And music helps, art helps, because there was a point of time where I used to not do music, not do art. Even now I'm not that associated with music. I like to croon at times. I like to be of service to my friends when they are singing something like. But then I cannot do it full time because I have art to cater to. Because if I have noticed that if I've tried to do too many things, it doesn't really come up being very amazing. Um, and music helps in such a way that music boliye, art boliye, whatever art form you practice, it could be an instrument, it could be maybe writing. It acts as meditation, because when you do that, you give your energy, you give your soul, you give your skills, everything to a particular art form. That time you are thoughtless, and that is what the purpose of meditation is. So I think if one practices an art form with such great love and great emotion, then I think it helps them, even not being affected by the issues that other people face, and yours own too. So मुझे तो यही it helps me at least. I do not know, because everybody else has a different coping mechanism, and I use this in my personal life, because I
Yeah.
come across people who all the time they know that I'm not a very extrovert sort of a person. I'm an introvert and I keep things within myself. So many people out there, they try to come and talk to me regarding their issues, and I'm a secret keeper. I keep it within myself. But I also get to know more of the stories. So, and most of them are really, really painful. And I tend to store it within myself. I never disclose any of this. And I give them the best sort of thing that a person can give, being a good listener. Because not everybody is willing to do that, because everybody wants to talk, everybody wants to be making some sound to feel their make their presence felt. But then being a good listener always helps. At least I have encountered this in my life, and I believe that I'm doing the right thing with them, and I never judge. So yes, that's the plus point.
Yeah, so it's that's very nice, and I mean, one can see how you have how you are your story itself just tells people how to work through their
Yes.
how music cures, how art cures, and how therapy is, and how any kind of art creativity is therapeutic. uh, एक गाने की आपके पास गानों की तो लिस्ट है, तो एक है कैसे कैसे धागों से बुनी है ये दुनिया,
Ma'am, who is the person who requested this?
डॉक्टर शिव नारायण कालिया.
Okay, Dr. Kali. Okay.
And
ठीक है,
then there
I'll listen
is,
to this.
I'll tell you the next also. Then there is Lag Ja Gale, Anandjit, and then there is Please Sing Bawra Man, and then there is of course your favorite that you have to sing, and
Okay. So,
so
ma'am, what
we
was the first?
the
I'll
first
go
one
one by
is,
one.
yeah, धागों से बुनी, कैसे कैसे धागों से
Okay,
बुनी है ये
okay,
दुनिया.
okay. Rafu. Okay, this is a song by a very, very talented singer, Ronkini Gupta Di. So, even though she has been doing a lot of Bollywood, and I would say that she is a very trained classical artist, and she is a phenomenon. So, Rafu is a very favorite song of mine, and yeah, मैं try करती हूँ एक बार. कैसे कैसे धागों से बुनी है ये दुनिया, कैसे कैसे धागों से बुनी है ये दुनिया, कभी धूप कभी बादलों की ये लड़ियाँ, कुछ तूने सी है मैंने की है रफू ये डोरियाँ, कुछ तूने सी है मैंने की है रफू ये डोरियां, तेरी बानी राहें मेरी थी दीवारें, उन दीवारों पे ही मैंने लिख ली बहारें। अब जो भी है ये आधा पौना है तो रंग रलियां। अब जो भी है ये आधा पौना है तो रंग रलियां। कुछ तूने सी है मैंने की है रफू ये डोरियां। कुछ तूने सी है मैंने की है रफू ये डोरियां। दिस मैं भूल भी गई हूँ some portions of this song.
That's wonderful. Very beautiful.
Ma'am, and there was some other, I guess, Bavda Man. I'm so sorry, I do not know this song. Like I haven't, मैंने सुना है and I like this song, but I don't know the lyrics to this song.
So how about Lagja Gale?
Yes, ma'am, I'll try. लग जा गले कि फिर हंसी रात हो न हो कि शायद फिर से जन्म में मुलाकात हो ना हो। लग जा गले कि फिर ये हंसी रात हो न हो कि शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो। लग जा गले हमको मिली है आज ये घड़ियां नसीब से। जी भर के देख लीजिए हमको करीब से।
I think, can you hear us?
Ma'am, I can only hear you, I cannot see you.
Okay. So that's okay. I'll rejoin, but let
Okay.
me then just tell you that very beautifully sung. Oh, and while she's just joining back, um, let us just again come back to what we were discussing. And today it's mental health, and we are seeing through these stories of the people that we have been listening to. हमें खुद ही कुछ कहने की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ रही as we see how they are working and they are the living example of how to negotiate and how to work through and how to look inwards and reach. She's back here. uh, Vidisha,
Yes, ma'am.
can you hear now? We can
I
see
can.
you.
I cannot see you, ma'am. I can only hear you now.
Oh, I think you are visible to everybody. I can see you.
Uh, Only the message on my screen is the host is not online.
Okay, but it's okay.
And even though I will not be able to do any justice to it. Um, Hello,
Okay.
ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
I just tried seeing what is happening on my phone itself because I cannot see. I cannot see you, and
So,
nor can I see myself.
yeah, there are a lot of requests, and one of them is Tere Bina Jiya Jaye Na. Uh, that is from Ghar, I think, the song Tere Bina Jiya Jaye Na. Yes, absolutely.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry. I just know how to hum this song because I'm not really like I was never into Bollywood music much, and I'm so sorry. But I like this song, but I've never tried to sing this in my life, and I don't even know the lyrics to it. Actually, I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
never mind. It's okay. I one question जो मुझे दिमाग में
Yes,
आ
ma'am.
रहा था कि we've spoken about how you handle everything else. So when you're
Mhm.
happy, what do you do? Do you dance?
Oh,
What is
ma'am,
your mode of
very nice
expression?
question. So that is something that people need to ask more often because yes, I do a lot of things when I'm really happy because I love to dance. I do that, and when I'm very happy, I take care of my health a lot more than I usually do. Like, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes,
Because
you are.
I cannot see you. So
It's okay.
yeah.
The people are
So
writing they can see both of us, so we'll just go
okay,
ahead.
okay. We'll just
Believe
go
me.
ahead with whatever we
Yeah,
are.
we'll
Yeah,
trust
we'll
the
believe
people.
them. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So I do a lot many things. So when I'm very happy, I dance, I paint, and especially when I'm like completely in the right zone and when I'm not disturbed, when nothing chaotic is going on in my head, I tend to eat better. I become a health fanatic. I exercise a lot, and I feel like okay, if I'm happy, if the world is so beautiful, why not keep myself healthy? So I dance, I sing more, like no matter how bad my voice sounds that day, and I paint more. And I definitely look after the people around me better. I take care of them and I hang out with my friends at times.
So that's very nice. And there's a request if you can sing any song, English song that you like.
Any English song that I like? Okay, there are many. So there is one that might feel very apt for a page like this. Though this is by a band called Sleeping at Last. So it is about a person who has gone through great loss, and the name of the song is Saturn.
Okay.
So it's about a person who courageously hold on to optimism after a near and dear one passes away. So it's called Saturn, and it goes like you taught me the courage of the stars. So I could just hum it a little bit for you.
Yeah.
You taught me the courage of the stars before you left. How life carries on endlessly, even after death, with shortness of breath. You explained the infinite. How rare and beautiful it is to even exist. I couldn't help but ask for you to say it all again. I've tried to write it down, but I could never find a pen. I'd give anything to heal, for you to say it one more time, that the universe was made just to see it by my eyes. I couldn't help but ask for you to say it all again. I've tried to write it down, but I've never found a pen. I'd give anything to hear you to say it one more time, that the universe was made just to be seen by my eyes. I couldn't help but ask. This is a very short song
Very
by
beautiful.
Sleeping at Last.
Very nice. Very beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Very beautiful. And any other song of your choice? It
Any
could
other
be
song of my
Bengali,
choice?
because when we were talking Bengali or Hindi, whatever,
Bengali.
or Hindi,
Mm.
whatever is your.
Um, mm, there is a very beautiful Bengali song that it's called Shokhi Bhabona Kahare Bole. So I am not a traditional Bengali singer. I've never uh, been trained under this also, but I've heard my friends sing it, and I think a few of the Bengali friends of mine who are watching this video might connect to it, might like it, and it's a beautiful melody. Though I'll just hum it for you. সখী ভাবনা কাহারে বলে সখী যাতনা কাহারে বলে তোমরা যে বলো দিবস রজনী ভালোবাসা ভালোবাসা সখী ভালোবাসা কারে কয় সে কি কেবলই যাতনাময়. I'll just leave it at that. It's a very beautiful song. I cannot ruin it.
Um, Very beautifully. I mean, there is one can feel the silence happening. So,
Ma'am, you're
so
back on screen. I can see you.
okay, okay. So it's good that we can see each other. I could always see you. So there
Okay,
are
okay, okay.
but what would you, how does, suppose somebody who's just not so creative like you, and somebody who just listens, even like somebody like me who just listens to music, who's not creative, what would you suggest? How do they deal with, because आपके तो इतने expressions हैं, ये है, तो वो कैसे, हम, how do we create that space? And क्योंकि music is meditation, वो mindfulness भी है, तो how does one create mindfulness only through listening?
Ma'am,
Because
the
you are
thing
so
is,
introspective.
Ma'am, the thing is, I have thought about it and I've
Ah,
often asked myself as to how do people who do not practice any sort of art form as such, how do they get to benefit from it? And the
ah,
thing is, I do not need to be a dancer to be able to appreciate dance. I do not need to be even a singer to be able to appreciate music because even though I am not a singer per se, it's not my profession, definitely not my profession, but then I get to listen to different sorts of people who make amazing music. It could be instrumental, it could be maybe vocal, it could be anything. Because if you go out seeking beauty in creative field in anywhere, you will find many people doing different sorts of things. So what I do, there are many dance forms like that I do not particularly participate in. I am a Bharatanatyam dancer myself, but I enjoy Kathak. There are many things that I don't do because even suppose you're talking about art, so even cooking is an art. So if you do not like, you may try to satisfy your taste buds. You can go out, try new food. You can go out and try new cuisines. You can do that. You can experience it because if you cannot create something yourself, you can at least experience it. There are many beautiful things floating around on the internet, or you can just be friends with somebody who is very creative, who will never actually give you a dull moment in your day. So they will actually take you to a place which you have not encountered or witnessed yourself, because that is the beauty of art. Another artist and another person who is practicing a different art form, they will come and introduce you to something, to a world that you have not witnessed till now. So even if you are a witness, so even if you're a person who listens to really beautiful music, to beautiful soothing music, it is definitely going to help you. So if you think that you need help, because in many people who fight anxiety, stress, and depression, so they cannot sleep. Insomnia is a big thing. For them, if you even try and listen to some beautiful melodies, if you try to listen to some string music or something that calms you, or even just chant Om, so it never hurts anybody. If you just witness something of beauty, it is definitely going to help, I believe. So there are many friends of mine, like my brother himself, because he does not practice any art form. While I have tried literally whatever I could have tried, and my brother does not. So I've seen him resort to some really beautiful music when he feels really stressed out, and it calms him down. So I think many people out there who are actually capable of at least going to another artist's Facebook page also, even they can actually find a lot of solitude there. Even they can see what other people paint about, they can hear what other people compose songs upon, compose music upon. And it is a given thing that they will be able to connect somehow, they will feel less lonely, because they'll understand, because artists, they create things of great beauty, and they create things from their heart. So they do so because they feel something, and this feeling, this consciousness, this is universal. What you feel, I feel. So if a person cannot themselves, aren't physically capable of doing something, I'm sure they can definitely enjoy it from other artists.
Very nice. Uh, Very well said, actually, Vidisha, because so much of
Thank you.
introspection has gone in. And there are songs here. So there is a request for My Heart Will Go On. Then there's another one, If You Reach There Before I Do. And and there is of course Your Mess Is Mine. And and if and there is a request for people have said if they can see your paintings, so you can maybe drop
Oh,
a link and we would love to see and the story
um,
behind those paintings if you can.
definitely. Ma'am,
So
I just dropped my Insta profile on the comment section.
yeah.
And if they want to know about the stories, because none of my paintings come without a story. So it's like there are a few artists who prefer that, yeah, I'll create something and I'll leave it up to the imagination of the audience कि मैंने जो भी बनाया है, you may interpret it in your way. But my paintings are extremely personal. Like I said, it has been a way or a mode of how I went through depression and how I recovered from it. So I want the people who view my paintings to know exactly why I painted them. So that is why, acha, there's a painting of mine on screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of my paintings come with captions. So if one goes to the caption, if one goes to the trouble of reading the caption, they will realize what the story behind the painting is. So I do that because sometimes I want to give a very tangible view of whatever is in my head, because that is intangible. I can describe it, I can sing about it, maybe I can dance it, but I want it to be projected somewhere, and I want it to be a part of me. So that is the reason I paint what I do. And I usually upload a story as well in the caption. So if my friends who are watching this right now, if they want to visit the Instagram page that I send the link to, so they will be able to read the stories behind all the paintings in the caption itself. So it's there.
So if you have to sing a song with this painting instead of the story, a song, a musical
Acha, that
story.
is, this is a
So
very
what
dear
would you?
painting.
Yeah. So
um,
so what is the song you would sing with this?
what would I sing? All my paintings are kind of dark, but the songs that I like are really happy.
Yes, this is not a very dark painting. This is a lot of hope. So
So
maybe
this
my
one,
heart will,
acha, this painting
whatever.
out here,
Yeah,
this is Sarah.
yeah. This is Sarah.
If I had to sing a song,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes,
Hello?
you are audible. We'll remove
Okay,
this now.
okay,
Uh,
okay, okay.
yeah.
So if I had to sing a song
For
regarding
the
a
earlier
painting,
painting, also Priyanka, and for this both. The earlier painting, this one.
this is, I really don't know if I can find any song, because this is about death. This is about life escaping from a
So
body. So I don't really know if the song is there,
oh,
if the song exists, or it needs to be created by some friend who is watching this video
yeah.
right now.
No, there is one song that's there. If you reach there before me, somebody
Oh,
requested.
I'm so sorry. I don't know that song. I'll
Or
not be
my
able to fulfill that request. My heart will go on and on. Yes, I know that. So it's a very beautiful one by Celine Dion. I'll
yeah.
need some guide. I'll put on the Tanpura for a Western song, if
Okay.
that's not really odd. But stop it. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know you. Go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you. Go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on. Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime, and never let go till you're gone. Love was when I loved you one true time. I'd hold you. I forgot the lyrics. Go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that my heart does go on. We'll stay forever this way. You are safe in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
Very
This is
beautiful.
all I remember, ma'am. I have just
Very
mixed up
beautiful.
the lyrics. I'm
Never
so
mind.
sorry. It's a legendary song by Celine Dion. I didn't want to mess up the lyrics though.
No, 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 no. That's okay. So this I don't know if you've heard, but there are your voice is so it's really beautiful. It's very strong and it is yes. So one more song, your favorite Hindi song?
My favorite Hindi song.
Yeah.
Not exactly my favorite because I am a great fan of Hariharan ji. And that
Okay.
is a very recent occurrence. I was not aware that he was such a great ghazal singer, such a great classical artist. But since the day I had started listening to him, I have become addicted to him. So it is a tough job actually calling a song, particular song, my favorite, and not mentioning any of Hariji's songs. And his songs are totally too beautiful and completely so well sung that I cannot attempt them. But there is a lighter song sung by Sona Mahapatra. It's called Abhi Nahi Aana Sajna. So that is something that I can attempt because okay, I might try, and I think you'll like it. So it goes something like this. I'll just put the tanpura on for a moment. अभी नहीं आना सजना अभी नहीं आना सजना मोहे थोड़ा मरने दे इंतजार करने दे अभी नहीं आना सजना अभी नहीं आना सजना मोहे थोड़ा मरने दे इंतजार करने दे, अभी नहीं आना रे, अभी नहीं आना, भेजियो संदेशा पर नहीं आना, थोड़ी दूर रह के मोहि तरसाना, अब तो मैं चाहूं सारी सारी रातें जगना, अभी नहीं आना सजना, अभी नहीं आना सजना, मोहे थोड़ा मरने दे, इंतजार करने दे, अभी नहीं आना रे, अभी नहीं आना. This is
Very nice, very nice. It's such a
Thank you, ma'am.
very beautiful, very beautifully sung. And so, any, and of course, Hariharan, and besides this music, and we have, this is a very interesting, I don't know if you can see this painting of yours, mask,
Yes, ma'am.
and
Mm.
there are so many this. How would
Ma'am,
you,
this mask one is not actually mine. Me and my friend Dev Singh, we run a Facebook page together, Bleeding Colors Art
Acha?
Poetry. So this is his creation,
So
the
three,
mask one.
yeah, he's
This one.
written there also that
So
it
I
is
would
three
be
pages.
speaking for Dev, I guess. So this
Ah,
is a representation of the tenses, the past, present, and future,
yes,
all in one frame, because time is an illusion. So even like anybody who is very interested in physics and metaphysics would tell you the same. And
yes.
so this representation was that time actually exists at the same time. Your past, your present, and your future exists together. So that was a very beautiful representation by Dev. So I think this is a year old. The one that is above, the yellow and pink one, that is the train of mortality
Yeah.
that you could see. This one,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
So this is a representation of a human being who is in this world and gripped by Maya and whatever we call it, life or the illusion of life, of death. So all throughout our lives, we come across many people, we get many experiences, and we get a few tokens in return. So here is a person who is picking up seashells from the beach that are
Okay.
actually spread out on the beach that waves bring and take back at any moment. So this person is actually collecting those little mementos of beautiful experiences or sad experiences that has happened with him or her. They are just picking it up, they're filling up a small pouch somewhere, and they're carrying it until a certain point, and after that there is nothing, and the cycle continues. So this is I've named it the train of mortality.
Oh, very nice. So much talent. My mother is watching and she's given a comp. She's just put there that सुनकर मन नहीं भर रहा है. उससे
Oh
मुझे
my
याद आया.
goodness.
So
I have
I
a very
mean,
happy Mother's Day to her,
uh,
and I thank her profusely. And
and
I'm really my apologies if I've like sung anything wrong, because I know I'm aware of my flaws, and I know
oh,
what wrong I've done.
I
But
think
it's great that they have enjoyed.
yeah, they've all enjoyed, and it is not about being every note. Nobody's perfect, but I
Mhm.
think you were just perfect. And there is one song, if you know, "Abhi na jao chhodkar."
I know just one or two lines. I'll just hum
Please
it for you.
hum it. Yes, please just hum it for us.
अभी ना जाओ छोड़ कर के दिल अभी भरा नहीं, बुरा ना मानो बात का. Wait, can you just tell me the lyrics so that I can actually finish it?
You just continue, sing whatever. Just
It will be a complete murder of such beautiful lyrics of a beautiful song.
you can just merge any other song.
प्यार तो ना 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 अभी ना जाओ छोड़ कर कि दिल अभी भरा नहीं. And something else also. Um, mm, and I could actually say sing a like one or two lines of a very beautiful song. If I have mentioned Hari Ji, there is a very beautiful song by him, which just speaks about optimism. It's called "Jhoom Le Has Bol Le, Pyari Agar Hai Zindagi." So it goes in a very beautiful manner. झूम ले हंस बोल ले प्यारी अगर है जिंदगी झूम ले हंस बोल ले प्यारी अगर है जिंदगी सांस के बस एक झोंके का सफर है जिंदगी झूम ले हंस बोल ले प्यारी अगर है जिंदगी. So this talks about how you should take your life, because this entire song runs in such a beautiful way, and it speaks so well about how you should not take things so seriously, so much to your heart, how you should live very lightly, how you should travel light in this journey, and how you should enjoy the beautiful drive, how to enjoy the beautiful ride towards your death. So it's something, life is something to be witnessed and enjoyed. It's not something to be felt with a lot of pain or something,
Very
because
beautiful.
the interpretation of what happens to you, like how you interpret your joy, your the beautiful things that happen to you, the sad things that happen to you, the misfortunes, your interpretation of it, that is the only thing that after all matters most probably.
Yeah, very true. There is a request. Any song on Ma, but before that, do you know the song "Rahe Na Rahe Hum"?
um, रहे ना
Exactly.
रहे
Yes.
हम
Yes.
महका करे. But sorry ma'am, the lyrics I don't really remember lyrics.
So
Na 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 रहे ना रहे हम. I'm just trying to respect the request by people by humming the tunes, even though I don't know the lyrics.
um, Dave was supposed to be here with us on this
Yes,
show,
yes.
so he's here online, and he's also
Okay.
he's saying to sing anything on life or what, but one song, but the last song will be, because it's Mother's Day, so
Mhm.
one song for all the mothers or whichever is this. But that should be the last song. Before that, any other song on life or something he would probably, it's his request. So
Uh, can Dave please suggest me, because he has been suggesting things. I have been seeing that he's commenting, because he was also supposed to come live. So if there is one song that he would have sung in the live show, then I would be really like pleased to sing it for you in a much worse voice,
so
obviously.
so why don't you sing a song that he would have sung?
He would have sung all of Hariji's songs, but mm,
Any ghazal that he would sing?
रंजिशी सही रंजिशी सही दिल ही दुखाने के. I did so many wrong things about it. Na 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 ना फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए आज रंजिशी सही. Sorry Dev, I ruined your song for you. But I'll sing something. Wait, I'll just hum another song. I just recalled a song on on mothers, because you just mentioned and I recalled
Yeah,
one song for mothers. So should I sing it now or
of
should
course.
I just wait?
Please sing it.
There's a beautiful song sung by Lata ji, mm, Lukka Chupi, from Rang De Basanti. So it goes like, लुक्का छुपी बहुत हुई, सामने आ जाना, कहाँ कहाँ ढूंढा तुझे, थक गई है अब तेरी माँ, आजा सांझ हुई, मुझे तेरी फिक्र धुंधला गई, देख मेरी नजर आ जाना, आजा सांझ हुई, मुझे तेरी फिक्र धुंधला गई, देख मेरी नजर आ जाना. So this is not from a child to a mother, but from a mother to a child. But I remember the song, so I thought I'd hum it for you. Well,
Very nice. Very nice. Very beautiful. And can look at the this. We will be winding up soon, but not. I want to ask you: should we before we do a few more songs? What would it be your advice to the forthcoming artists? You know, what were for young budding artists? How do they sustain themselves?
ma'am, actually, the thing is, I am nobody to advise. I'm a complete nobody. But then I would like to see more and more people actually do something with their capabilities in the creative zone. And it's true enough that people nowadays, from a very young age, maybe from the age of 5, they start getting a very hectic schedule for themselves. So there are people who actually impose this upon their children. Like, आपको ये keyboard classes जाना है, ये करना है, वो करना है. I think people, kids especially, they usually try to copy what they see at home. It's not something that they are instructed to do, that they carry forward with, but what they see at home. So if there is an atmosphere that encourages creativity or art at home, and I think such kind of an atmosphere will definitely help the kids to see and actually ignite the curious mind in them. So instead of a kid just enrolling into preschool and being forced to go through this classes and that class, I think this kind of an atmosphere should already be present at home. I think people in general should try to pick up an art form of, or even if they are not physically capable of doing something like that, they should have a conversation about these things all the time in their homes. Like, it would be really amazing. In my case, it so happened that my parents, my grandparents, they always had really awesome instruments at home. They had beautiful music playing all across the house all the time, and that actually ignited that curiosity. Ki, Acha, this is a beautiful thing. I could try it, because I like to copy. Because as a child, I would like to copy as to whatever I'm seeing. So if I am hearing a beautiful song, maybe I'll try to copy that. If I'm seeing that my mom or dad paints, or whether they like purchasing paints and they decorate their homes with paintings, even that actually triggers something in the child's brain, that okay, acha, what is this? They become curious about that thing. If a child sees paintbrushes lying around, if a child sees maybe ghungroos lying around all the time from a very tender age, they tend to be more curious, because the people who are in the house, the adults, they will always be having conversations regarding that, and gradually the child tends to pick it up naturally, and it's not enforced upon them, they pick it up naturally. And I think youngsters who have a lot of stress in their lives, I'm talking about the people now, like, who are currently maybe going through their higher studies. So they have a lot of stress in their lives, and it is not uncommon for some of them to resort to things like drugs or alcohol or whatever substance abuse. But in a beautiful country like India, where tradition is such an integral part of our lives, I'm sure that every kid in every household has encountered some sort of a creative, like, art form in their lives, even in their childhood. So I think this comes naturally to many of the kids out there, and if it hasn't, if they have been not brought up that way. So it is very relaxing to have an instrument to play, or maybe a very nice voice to sing with, or maybe it works as a stress buster, I would say, somehow. So it makes you even more productive at whatever you're doing in academics, or maybe in at work. So if you have something which actually relaxes you completely, which gives you a lot of peace, which brings you back to yourself after a long hard day of doing whatever, wherever you're grinding yourselves in, it actually helps to relax and ease that stress. And that is a very healthy thing, because not just your physical health, your mental health is supported by activities like this. So that should be something that they can try. And since the time that I had started running this page, running this endeavor called Bleeding Colors Art Poetry,
Yeah.
many of my peers and many of my juniors from school or college, they have often inquired about it, and they have asked me ki, Didi, what do you do, kaise karti ho aap art, I'm very interested. So there are people who have never touched a paintbrush in their life, but they were very happy seeing that somebody they know is engrossed into something like this. So this is how people start to learn something new, by seeing other people, by getting influenced. So if there are people around who can actually influence you, somebody talented, somebody who practices art forms, so the other person who perhaps does not engage in such activities themselves, they don't try it out themselves, they also tend to pick things up because they start liking it somehow. It becomes a part of their life somehow, and they feel like trying to do this, do the same thing with themselves also. People feel like trying it out.
All right. This is very, very, this is a very sane advice to everybody. And I think we are past 8 o'clock. But
Okay.
no, no, that's okay. It's a live this, and it should be. I mean, we are willing to continue. And so, one, two songs that are your choice, but that
Uh,
are about life or something that you just feel that you will listen to it and it just peps you up like this.
I've already sung one of them. Just now I sang Jhoom Le Has Bol Le. It's a very
Huh.
beautiful one. And
Maybe a Sufi song.
Sufi song. My goodness, that's so. I have one in mind by Abida Parveen. Yes, I found the scale. There is a beautiful song of Abida Parveen ji's that I absolutely love, which I have never attempted to sing this way, but then I'll do so because it's just for the sake of enjoyment now. And it's called Maula E Kul. It's a beautiful one. She is a godly figure. She's a godly figure to me. And what to say, what to talk about her? She's a legend in herself. I'll just attempt once. मौलाए कुल हाँ मौलाए कुल कर देगा तू जो एक नजर कर देगा तू जो एक नजर सारे गुनाह जाएंगे धुल मौला कुल हाँ मौला कुल. I don't remember the lyrics to the rest of the song. तो इतना ही मुझे याद था. I could. हर रंग तू बेरंग में हर रंग तो तेरी मुझे है जुस्तजू, तेरी मुझे है जुस्तजू, कर देगा तू जो एक नजर, बंद रास्ते जाएंगे खुल, मौलाए कुल. This is it.
Thank you. Beautiful.
It's
On
a
that,
it's an extremely tough song by Avida Parveen ji, and I've only listened to her sing this masterpiece.
so
And
simple.
Dr. Shiv Kalia had requested that song once upon a time to me, and I had not been able to sing it, so I just took this opportunity to sing this for him.
Very nice. And thank you so much for being with us. And
Thank you, ma'am, for having me here.
and at Conversationists, we are really, really privileged that we could host and we could get you here and you spoke आपने अपने बारे में और सब चीज़ों के बारे में इतना अच्छे से बोला. You spoke about your life and you shared stories share करी. And thank you so much. Conversationist
Thank you,
Talking
ma'am.
Cures is just that. We are trying to get people who can speak about these stories, who can speak out and speak about mental health, make it a movement. It's a new way to converse.
Thank you,
And
ma'am. Thank you so much. And actually, I would just like to take this opportunity at praising your endeavor, because it's extremely important that more and more people they join you, and people like you who are just trying to help the other people who are going through a very tough time. Because if we do have a platform like this, a platform like yours, to connect people like that, to connect like-minded people and anybody who needs any sort of assistance regarding mental health, it's a very good opportunity, I guess. Because at the end of the day, people just like to be heard and understood, and if you're giving them this opportunity, this is really amazing. So I really appreciate and salute your endeavors.
thank you so much. And I hope we can keep hosting you again and again. एकदम what my mother said, जी नहीं भरा लेकिन time का
Thank you to her.
time का.
No,
And
thank you
to
so much, Auntie ji.
for all of us हमारा जी नहीं भरा है लेकिन time है. And so thank you so much.
The privilege was mine, Dr. Chavi. Thank you so much.
And I think everybody's fallen in love with you. Look at beautiful voice, painting. I mean, it's like how can one person have it all? But one person has it all, and with that, we come to the end.
That would be a very big overstatement, ma'am, but I do try. I do try for myself at
But
least.
okay, thank you, and good night to everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Yeah.